Well, I had a video get, I guess you could say, unblocked for this week's Beatles Sunday. So I'm kind of taking a gamble here. Hopefully it'll go up. If not, it'll go up on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. Guess what? Oh, yeah, it's the Beatles. And this is courtesy of our patron Scott. We're going to be listening to two singles. They were both on the same one, double A side singles. He requested the first one, and I added the second. You know, since they're both short, you might as well do both of them, whatever. The Beatles, We Can Work It Out, and Day Tripper, which was released in 1965. It was... Well, We Can Work It Out is a song written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon. It was issued as a double A side single December of 1965. It was recorded during the sessions of Rubber Soul. It reached number one in Britain, where it won the Ivor Novello Award for the top-selling A-side of 1965. The United States... Oh, wow, it went number one in the US, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. Wow, that's amazing. And then Day Tripper is the second one. Primarily written by John Lennon with some contributions to McCartney, credited to Lennon and McCartney, recorded during Rubber Soul. This peaked at number 5, and apparently it was number 5 while We Can Work It Out was number 1. That's crazy. These guys are prolific, bro. That's insane. So thank you, Scott, once again, and let's go. If y'all are not subscribed, please help a brother out. Click that icon right below my face, somewhere down there. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out. I think we're like almost at 27.4. I think we'll be at 30,000 hopefully by Halloween or something. That'd be pretty cool. I just got a new computer and everything, so I should be able to do some new stuff, you know? I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. Here we go. The Beatles, We Can Work It Out. 3, 2, 1.
Try to see it my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can go on? While you see it your way, run the risk of knowing that our love may soon be gone. We can work it out. We can work it out. Think of what you're saying. You can get it wrong and still you think that it's alright. Think of what I'm saying. We can work it out and get it straight or say goodnight. We can work it out. We can work it out. Life is very short and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend.
Ooh.
I have always thought that it's a crime.
Hey, Ringo.
So I will ask you once again. Try to see it my way. Only time will tell if I am right or I am wrong. While you see it your way, there's a chance that we might fall apart before too long.
John's funny.
We can work it out. We can work it out. Life is very short and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. I have always thought that it's a crime.
They look so happy.
So I will ask you once
Ringo does it.
again. Try to see it my
Picks
way.
right back up. I love
Only
it.
time will tell if I am right or I am wrong. While you see it your way, there's a chance that we might fall apart before too long. We can work it out. We can work it out.
That's awesome. All right. They look so happy, except for Ringo. Day Tripper. Whoa.
Got a good reason
That was awesome.
for taking the easy way out. Got a good reason for taking the easy way out now.
That's a good riff, bro.
She's a big teaser. She took me half the way there. She's a big teaser. She took me half the way there now. She was a day tripper, one-way ticket, yeah. It took me so long to find out, and I found out.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Tried to please her.
Ringo is solid as a rock, bro.
She only played one
Every
night
song.
stand. Tried to please her. She only played one night stand now.
This really was the turn.
Day tripper, Sunday driver, yeah. It took me so long to find out, and I found out. Day tripper,
I love seeing the smile from George.
day tripper, yeah.
And Ringo. Everyone's happy in this one.
Day tripper, yeah.
That almost sounded like a Beach Boys kind of riff, you know what I mean? The second it started playing, I was like, wait, that sounds like the Beach Boys a little bit. Oh, man, that was great. It really was the turn, wasn't it? Rubber Soul. I know this was like singles recorded during this session, so I will count it as the same time period as Rubber Soul. Wow, man. Because you could hear like the future trappings of like little bits and pieces of what they were going to do within a year or two. Like, that's so crazy to me that, like, you know, when I think of when I thought of the Beatles, I thought they were a band that had been around for a while before, obviously, I actually started listening to them. But no, they really hadn't, they weren't there that long in the long, you know, grand scheme of things, to be honest. And they left a, an impact crater the size of Britain, basically, you know, maybe the whole world. It's so crazy to me. But yeah, this definitely feels like it's, as I keep calling it, the turn from, like, you know, Please Please Me to Sgt. Pepper, you know, because there has to be a point in their sound where it starts to change, you know, but a lot of people on here, when I bring that up, they say that there is no, it happens like a, you know, a frog boiling in water, basically. It was never an actual, like, you know, we're doing this, then we're doing that, you know, it just kind of always was this, but it just changed slowly along the way. And I know with these guys, there's always going to be different, you know, schools of thought when it comes to things. There's different people that document things different ways, you know, so it's all about, you know, what, you know, your personal interpretation of the song is. And then I guess you can go back and look at, the actual, you know, Beatles history and the books and stuff. Like, you know, whenever I read the lyrics by Paul McCartney, because especially with the McCartney Monday stuff, like, you know, he's got stuff on all kinds of his songs in that book. And I always learn a little bit, you know, he's very insightful. Like I always say, when I read that book, I always gain some kind of angle or some kind of, you know, piece of knowledge about them I didn't know before. It's full of it, you know, it's really cool. I wish I had more time to read it all. You know, I get maybe like a page or two a day, but it's fascinating, you know. I love learning about these guys because they're the most well-documented band in history. They are the best band, you know, in history. And then there's also, sorry, man, I got like a frog in my throat. I talked about frogs being boiled, and now it's in my throat. You know, and I've listened to a lot of their, you know, different little eras, the little micro eras they had, you know. And man, give me 1 second. Okay, all better. You know, like I said, I've listened to all these little micro eras and their different albums. You know, they change so much but they didn't at the same time. That's what's so crazy, is that it still is that please me harmony, like, main riff kind of driven songs, but they just take it to the max, and then they just push it past its boundaries, and it becomes something completely new by the time you get to like Sgt. Pepper and stuff like that. And the White Album, everything is just, it's completely different, but still so similar to where they started, and then they went on to do their solo careers, and the rest is history. But man, out of those two songs, what I noticed, I think the most was, I loved whatever kind of piano Lennon was playing in the first song. Let's see if it says. We can work it out as a comparatively rare example of a Lennon-McCartney collaboration from this period in the Beatles' career, and that the two songwriters worked together as they had when writing the group's early hit singles in 1963, Baby, You're a Rich Man, A Day in the Life, and I've Got a Feeling are among the other notable exceptions to this trend from the group's later career. There you go. So what was it? McCartney wrote the words, yes. I bet if I just look at the personnel. Okay, so he was playing the harmonium, John Lennon was. George Harrison on the tambourine, Ringo Starr on drums, and then Paul McCartney on double track lead vocals and bass guitar. But John also did harmony vocals and acoustic guitar for that. And that was We Can Work It Out. And then for Day Tripper, see, I'm just going to go right down to that. There's a ton of live performances of it too, apparently. Not a ton, but there's a couple of them. So that was Ringo on drums and tambourine, George Harrison on lead guitar and harmony vocals, Paul McCartney on the double track lead vocal and bass, John Lennon on the double track lead vocal and rhythm and lead guitar. I definitely, like I said, I feel like Ringo is solid no matter what song it is. Like, it could be from Please Please Me all the way up to the White Album. No matter what, he is just solid, bro. He always has a good rhythm or a good beat to kind of counteract the shenanigans that the guys up front do, and you always gotta bring it down to earth, and he does such a great job at doing that. It's always the snare, it's always his snare that always has this great sound to it. They change it from song to song, but it always fits it perfectly. And I know there's 1,000 different remasters and remixes of stuff, and I'm not well versed in all that, of course, with the Beatles stuff. I know you guys obviously are, but when I hear the remasters, I can't help but notice that his snare changes in every different version that we do, or that I listen to, I don't know exactly what to equate that to. Obviously, that could just be the production changing hands from George Martin to his son or whatever, who picked up duties with it with the remasters more recently. But I feel like it's always one of the most essential elements to their song is, that snare. And of course the guitar from everybody too. And that harmonium in the first one was great, man. That was really, really cool. And it kind of like swung. It felt like a sea shanty almost, like you're on the ocean and it kind of, there's waves going back and forth. And then it would go into that strange trippy harmonium part and then go right back into the song and flow right back in, it was just kind of going back and forth. I thought that was really cool. And these earlier songs, but it's not technically early. This is in the middle, I guess, technically. You definitely see what's coming, you can see it. If not in the moment, probably you couldn't see it coming, but from someone with like hindsight, that's 2020, obviously, but you can see it there. That's like, all right, they're starting to change now. They're starting to experiment, even though they had already been doing that. But, they were really starting to put themselves out there as songwriters and challenging themselves and really moving in a fashion that no one had ever seen probably. And like I said, what an impact they left. It's crazy. You guys know better than I do, but I think we don't fully comprehend the impact that they had. It's probably impossible to, because it was so big, to know all of the influences, all the people that were not even just musicians that were, influenced by this amazing group, and this is somebody who's, 30 years old in the year 2024, almost 2025, learning to appreciate this wonderful music and falling in love with it. I think that's really cool. that they can have such a lasting impact. And I hope that my daughter continues to really enjoy listening to them too, man. And they love, they love Yellow Submarine, but I play Dear Prudence enough for them to probably like love that song too. I played Nowhere Man for them actually after we did the video last week, and they like that one too. So I'm gonna have to start showing them some more. And I know they like the videos, and they love watching the Yellow Submarine video. They just literally watch it on loop sometimes. I'm not even kidding. I'm probably making them. I already know I'm making the Beatles money. That's crazy. But that was great. Thank you to our patron Scott, as always, my friend. I love listening to these guys and seeing these videos too of them. Like I said, they didn't look happy. Half of them didn't look happy in the first one, but they all looked happy in the second one, and that's an A+ in my book just for that. I love seeing them happy for some reason. I mean, that's not that's not really hard to explain, I guess, but I don't know, there's just something that warms my heart seeing them all happy together, whatever. Thank you for watching, guys. And if you have any other recommendations by the Beatles, or you have a request or something like that, you can send it into our Patreon right there. Sorry, AI camera. Yeah, join the $15 tier or up, you get one free request a month. There's other tiers for other amounts of requests and such. I have full albums to... Hold on, here we get this. Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road, for Revolver, that's all in full. And then I got half of the White Album, half of Please Please Me, and then random singles and stuff like that on there. And there's tons of other bands and block videos. If you just scroll, you will find all kinds of stuff on my Patreon. I mean, seriously, you will. There's so much crap on there. But not crap, you know what I mean. But we'd love to have you. Come hang out. There's a Discord server too, only for patrons. We'd love to have you. And PayPal in the description if you want to send a request in that way. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good day. I will see y'all next time.